My business is to establish the facts of this case.
I'm sorry, sir, I don't understand.
You say that the bullet came from a .45 revolver. That is pure speculation on your part. It is not your business to start guessing at the type of weapon used. That is a subject for the police.
I'm sorry, sir.
Pray continue.
Death occurred as the result of a wound from a soft-nosed lead bullet. The bullet penetrated the skull above the left eye, traversing the left frontal lobe, through the cerebellum, and then exited from the skull at the back of the head by the left occipital parietal suture.
In your opinion, when did death take place?
Well, it would have been instantaneous.
Have you any idea how far this bullet had traveled before it entered the body?
I cannot be sure, but it would certainly be more than 4 or 5 feet.
Time of death?
Death occurred between 10:30 and 11:30 post-meridian on the 20th of this month.
Thank you, Dr. Watson.
Ronald Adair and I were in the Harrow 11 together. He was a first-class bat, pretty effective leg spinner.
A good sportsman, in fact.
Absolutely first-class sportsman, sir. Straight as a die. One of the most popular fellows I know.
Thank you, Mr. Murray. Sir John Hardy.
I was Ronald Adair's godfather and a trustee of the estate. Of course, the family is absolutely devastated by this appalling tragedy. I put the boy up for the Bagatelle Club, as a matter of fact. He always enjoyed a game of cards.
Win or lose, would that affect Mr. Adair in any way, Sir John?
Good Lord, no. Not in the least. He never played such high stakes they could affect him at all. The family fortune is a very considerable one.
Thank you, Sir John. You have been a great help. And may I say that evidence from such a distinguished person as yourself is greatly valued by the court. Colonel Moran, you were the last person known to have seen Mr. Adair. Did you know him well?
I wouldn't say that I knew Ronald Adair well. Knew his father, Lord Maynooth, very well. Used to play polo together in India. But Ronald... I've seen quite a good bit of him at our clubs over the past few months. We played cards together from time to time. Oh, charming boy. Good manners, intelligent. Matter of fact, he's just the stamp of young fellow I'd like to see joining my old regiment.
Did you notice anything unusual about him? Did he seem worried or upset on the last evening you saw him?
Not in the least. Quite the opposite, in fact.
Have you any idea why someone should choose to murder him?
No idea at all. I doubt if he had an enemy in the world.
Thank you, Colonel Moran. Inspector Lestrade, would you give me your opinion as to the cause of the Honourable Ronald Adair's death?
Yes, sir. Willful murder by person or persons unknown.
Willful murder by person or persons unknown.
Wait, Cab. They're not great, Cab. Lynch Grove, Kensington, Industries, Cabby.
Yes?
gentleman to see you, Doctor.
Is it an urgent matter?
I don't know, Doctor.
Or did he give you his card?
No, Doctor.
Ivy, if I've told you once, I've told you 100 times, my consulting hours are plainly displayed outside. Now, please.
Oh, sir.
Dr. Watson, is it?
Yes, indeed, sir. You may go, Ivy. I am exceedingly busy, sir.
Yeah, of course you are, Doctor. Of course you are a man of considerable responsibilities. When I heard you give your address to that cab driver outside the court, and I said to myself, I'll just hobble around and see that kind gentleman. You see, I have a conscience. And tell him that if I was a little gruff in my manner, I meant no harm by it, and I'm much obliged to him for helping me pick up my books.
You make too much of a trifle, sir. You should have spared yourself the journey. Now, if you'll excuse me...
No great journey, sir. I am a neighbour of yours. You will find my little bookshop on the corner of Church Street. May I sit down? Very happy to see you. I'm sure, Doctor. Perhaps you collect? I have the British birds, Catullough, and quite a rare volume of the Holy War. Bargains, every one of them. Just the books you need to fill up your bookcase. Give it a little weight. It does look a little untidy, does it not?
Watson, do you mind if I smoke a cigarette in your consulting room? A thousand apologies, my dear Watson. I had no idea that you'd be so affected.
Is it really you? Can it really be that you're alive?
But are you really fit enough to discuss things? I've given you a serious shock by my unnecessarily dramatic reappearance.
No. I'm all right. I'm all right. Yes, indeed, Holmes, I can hardly believe my eyes. Good heavens, to think that you, of all men, should be here in my consulting room. Well, being another spirit at least, my dear chap. I'm overjoyed to see you. Sit down. And tell me how you came alive out of that awful chasm.
Oh, I'm glad to stretch myself. It's no joke when a tall man has to take a foot off his stature for several hours on end. Ah. Oh, my dear fellow, we have a hard and dangerous night's work ahead of us. Perhaps it'd be better if I gave an account of the whole situation when that work is finished.
No. I'm full of curiosity. I should much prefer to hear now.
But you will come with me tonight.
When you like, where you like.
Ha! Ha! Watson. This is just like the old days. You might have a chance for a mouthful of dinner before we need go.
Dinner, of course, but first, you must tell me everything.
You're sure you're all right?
I'm fine.
Well, then. About that chasm. I had no serious difficulty in getting out of it for the simple reason that I was never in it.
You were never in it?
No, Watson. I never was in it. The note that I left on the rock at the Reichenbach Falls was absolutely genuine. I had little doubt that my career had come to an end when I perceived the somewhat sinister figure of Moriarty standing upon the narrow pathway that led to safety. I read an inexorable purpose in his grey eyes. I managed to obtain his courteous permission to write the note, which you afterwards received.